think about waste, we normally think about... But all living things make waste. Birds, mammals, trees, flowers, everything. All around me is the waste of nature.
This fall, coming to theaters near you, it's Waste of Nature. Mother Nature's fed up, so it's out with the old to make way for the new.
This waste is actually really important.
Really important? What are you talking about?
You see, nature's gonna take this waste, it's gonna break it down, and turn it back into nutrients that are gonna be used by all of these plants to help them grow. And you can actually do that right here at home. When we make food, we make waste. And a lot of times we just throw it in the garbage. But you know, there's something else that we could be doing with that waste. And that's composting. You can put a lot of your food scraps, like carrot peels, potato peels, onions, all sorts of different vegetables, and put them into a bin like this. Over time, they'll decompose and they'll break down, and you can use that compost in your garden to grow new vegetables. If you're going to do compost, make sure you look into what you're going to compost. Even though you can, a lot of people don't compost meat and dairy because it can get really smelly and it can attract intruders. So what happens to all these leaves and sticks and animal droppings and all the natural waste that's sitting all around me? Well, to find that out, we're going to have to talk to the FBI.
He's got no backbone. I can't trust him. He's the best that we've got. Is he even licensed? Oh, I'm licensed, all right. Licensed to decompose.
FBI stands for fungi, bacteria, and invertebrates. They're the decomposers, which means they break things down. Like this tomato. The mold on the outside of the tomato is starting to break the tomato down.
What's an invertebrate?
An invertebrate is an animal that doesn't have a backbone. We are vertebrates. That means we have a backbone, and you can even check for yourself. If you take your hand and you put it on the center of your back, you can feel all the way up and down there's these little bumps. Those are your vertebra, or the individual bones in your backbone. Now, invertebrates, they don't have this because they don't have a skeleton on the inside like we do. Instead, some of them, like insects, have an exoskeleton, or a skeleton on the outside of their body. And some of them, like earthworms, don't have a skeleton at all. These little critters will break down these leaves, these logs, and all the rest of this natural material into new soil. And in this new soil, new seeds are going to drop, they're going to grow new plants, and they're going to start the cycle all over again. It's biodegradable. But most of the time when we're thinking of waste, we're thinking of garbage. Americans produce over 200 million tons of garbage every year. That's enough to fill a baseball stadium twice a day, every day, all year long.
Now that's a lot of garbage.
Now, for most people, you throw your garbage away, change out the bag, set it outside to be picked up, or bring it to your local dump. And then you're done. You go about the rest of your day, don't think about your garbage because, well, you've got more important things to do, right? Well, have you ever wondered just what happens to your garbage after it leaves? Well, we did, and so we decided to take a trip over to Casella to find out just what happens to our garbage after it's gone. We're here today at Casella to find out what happens to your trash once you've thrown it out. Let's head on in. We met with Nick, who told us a little about what Casella does.
My name is Nick Babty. I'm a territory manager with Casella Waste.
So what is Casella Waste? What does Casella Waste do?
Casella Waste hauls trash and recycling.
So how does the trash get from a person's house or from an industry to the dump?
Process is our trucks pick it up, whether it's at a business or a home. They will run a route, where at the end of the route, they will bring it to our transfer station here in Gansevoort, where it'll be sorted and processed and shipped to another processing location.
What are some ways that we at home can create less waste?
The most important thing probably would be greater awareness around recycling, reducing contamination around recycling. People tend to throw things out that can be recycled, and on the flip side, they're throwing things in the recycling bin that are not recyclable and lead to a contamination of recycled product.
So what kinds of things might people throw into a recycling bin that can disrupt that process that we can't recycle?
Number one for single stream recycling would be plastic bags. Recyclable through grocery stores. You can take your old plastic bags back, and grocery stores have a different process for recycling those. But through your regular home single stream recycling bin, not recyclable.
What are some of the things that we can use the other side of it, the waste aspect of it for? Is there anything that we can do other than just put it into a landfill?
Composting is becoming much more popular. I know our divisions in Vermont, there's a large composting initiative. That's something that's rolling out there. Here, you use a composter.
So here I'm getting ready to head out and take a look at some of the garbage trucks, and they gave me this cool vest to wear so I don't get hit by any trucks or anything like that. So let's take a look.
Over here are the residential side load that a lot of people, on your street most common. They're a split body, so the same truck can pick up trash, and then the wall top you can drop recycling, so it's separated in the same truck.
Okay, so that's how you can pick it both up with one truck.
Most efficiently, yes.
Okay.
Depending on the size of the neighborhood, we might have two separate side loads coming through, but for the most part, when you see trash and recycle getting dumped into one truck, it's because it's a split body, and you have the ability to move the wall, and they dump each one into a different compartment within the storage of the truck.
Okay. Yeah, I always wondered that because people were like, "Oh, I don't think they're separating it because they're just putting it into one truck."
We
But
get that a lot.
We learned that some of the trucks don't even use gasoline.
The natural gas trucks are fueled by natural gas, making them more efficient and cleaner to run.
we're here at the Hiram Hollow transfer station to find out what happens to your trash after it gets picked up by the dump truck.
My name's Ian Mishna, and I'm the facility manager. This is a transfer facility where routing trucks and people off the street can throw away garbage, commonly like construction debris, MSW, which is household garbage. And it's all collected here, loaded into trailers, and transported to the landfill or recycling facility. On a daily basis, we do about 300 tons a day right now.
Where all of your garbage is going to end up after you've thrown it out, and it gets picked up by the dump truck and hauled away.
Now, the thing that's different about a lot of human garbage is that a lot of it is not biodegradable. That means it's not going to break down very easily in the environment. It's going to stay garbage for a really long time. It can take several years for something like this plastic bag to break down. This can take up to 20 years to finally decompose in the environment, and that's if a sea turtle or a whale doesn't mistake it for a jellyfish or some other thing that it thinks is food. This aluminum can take up to 80 to 200 years to break down. Recycling this can save enough energy to run a TV for 3 full hours. And some garbage lasts even longer. This plastic bottle would take up to 450 years to break down. Monofilament fishing line, the kind of stuff that you put in your fishing pole, that can take up to 600 years to break down. And styrofoam, well, styrofoam is never breaking down. That's going to stay garbage forever. The average person generates about 4 pounds of trash every day. That's about 1.5 tons per year. That's as much as a small adult hippo weighs. And that's just the average. Some people can generate as much as 56 tons per year. That's as much as 10 fully grown elephants. Over your lifetime, you could generate as much as 90,000 pounds of garbage. That's as much as 300 commercial airplanes.
Whoa!
That's a lot of trash. So what can we do to reduce the amount of garbage that we produce? Well, for starters, you can try and buy less stuff that's just going to end up in a landfill. You can use a water bottle instead of disposable cups. You can buy fresh produce instead of using prepackaged items. And bring a cloth bag with you when you go shopping instead of using a plastic bag from the store. We can also recycle. We can take something like this plastic bottle. We can sort it, we can melt it down, and we can turn it into something new. Not only does this reduce the amount of waste that goes into landfills, it also saves energy because we don't have to make new plastic. Recycling this aluminum can saves 95% of the energy it takes to make one from scratch. If you recycled 1 can every single day, you would save enough energy to light your room for nearly 2 months. That's a bright idea. We can also reuse or find a new use for items that we might otherwise throw away. Let's check in with Jess from the museum, who has a project that you can do right at home.
Hi everyone, today we're going to be upcycling our old used toilet paper roll into a maraca. We do this simply by using a toilet paper roll, some leftover beans. You could also use rice or extra beads that you have laying around, and just some things to decorate the outside of it with too. Upcycling is important because it uses materials that you would typically throw away or recycle, and it gives it a new beautiful meaning. It can be something that you create to have a different purpose, or something that you make into a piece of art. So first we're going to take our stapler and just pinch one end of the toilet paper roll together like this and staple it shut so that when we add our beans into the toilet paper roll, they won't fall out the bottom. I'm going to take a few of our beans. Now you're going to want a few in here, not too many that they don't have room to shake around and make noise, but just enough so that you can get it to make the noise that you want. I think that sounds pretty good. So now we're going to take the other end of the toilet paper roll, pinch it together just like we did with the bottom, take our stapler and close it shut just like that. Now you have your maraca. So the next thing that we can do is decorate, because everything always looks better when we add a little bit of color to it, right? See, now you have your nice, beautiful, upcycled maraca.
Well, friends, that's our show. Remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle. And until next time.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm just throwing out this water bottle. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? Didn't you know that you can recycle that? I didn't know that. Didn't you know that over half of the things that we could recycle just end up in the garbage? I didn't know. Didn't you know that a good portion of our waste doesn't even make it to the landfill? It ends up in the ocean where it can kill animals and cause other problems. I didn't know. I didn't know.